The tradition of Mohiniyattam can be traced back to 16th-17th century, a period generally considered as the golden era of arts and literature in the history of Kerala. The murals and sculptures of the 18th century in some temples and the places depict the concept of Mohini. The earliest known textual reference to Mohiniyattam is found in the commentary on the Vyavaharamala, a Sanskrit text written by Madhyamangalam Nambudri during the 16th century. Another reference on Mohiniyattam can be found in an Ottantulal script, Ghoshayatra, authored by Kunchan Nambiyar during the second half of 18th century. Perhaps Mohiniyattam is the only art form of India that was subject to several revivals and renaissances. The efforts of Maharaja Swati Tirunal 1813 to 1846 and the attempts of Kerala poet laureate Vallathol Narayana Menon in 1932 and then again in 1950 after the departure of colonialists are important endeavors in the history of this art. The late Tankamani was the first student of Mohiniyattam at the Kerala Kalamandalam, that is in 1932. She left the institute within a couple of years on her marriage to the late Guru Gopinath. Kalamandalam Kalyanakutty Amma and Kalamandalam Satyabhama are the products of the later efforts of Vallathol during 1937 and 1950 respectively through this institute. All of them expanded the repertoire and the attractiveness of the dance form through creative interventions. Vallathol Narayan Menon, among some of the creative interventions made in the early stage of the revival of Mohiniyattam done by the poet Vallathol Narayan Menon himself, included the repositioning of the orchestra from behind the dancers to the right to the stage. This gives the Nattamunar and the other accompanying musicians a better status. Secondly, the instruments were changed to deliver better purity of Carnatic music. For instance, the Thopi Mandalam was replaced by the Mridangam and the Veena by the violin. However, the Edakka, which is used in Kathakali as well, was retained. Further, he adopted the mudras in accordance to the Hasta Lakshana Deepika and ensured that the four elements of Abhinaya were followed without impacting the flavor of the form. The founder of Kerala Kalamandalam wanted to rid Mohiniyattam from the stigma that had come to be associated with it, as it was believed to be erotic and evoke baser supplements by playing to the gallery. Consequently, he divested it of vulgar gestures and sensuous songs that thrived on double meanings. One of them was Mukuti. In this, the dancer would dance, sing and mime how she has lost her nose ring and would even enter the space of the audience and ask them beseechingly to help her find it. It is invariably evoked a certain reaction from mostly the male audience. As an item called Saptams in Mohiniyattam was introduced in the modern Mohiniyattam repertoire by Srimati Kalyanakutty Amma, hailed as the mother of Mohiniyattam. Saptam has great potential and one of Amma's foremost disciple, Srimati Nirmala Panikkar, finds Saptam a great way to present elaborate stories in Mohiniyattam. Usually, the Saptam would be presented after the Varnam when the dance was deeply saturated with the energy of the dance and the spiritual experience of the Bhava. According to Guru Kalyanakutty, Saptam is Natya that can be based on Carnatic music or can be just chorus, syllables sung melodiously with Bhava. Many ragas and alaps can be used in Saptam to suit the composition. Swaras and jatis are sung in the accompaniment of the musical instrument. The music used in Saptam can be termed Abhinaya Sangeetam. Inspired by the vision of her guru, Nirmala Panikkar recently choreographed and presented through her disciple an Ashtapadi, Dashavataram, in Saptam format. Following a 200-year-old text, Gita Govindam Nrityalakshana Sahitam, which gives instructions including hand gestures for presenting Gita Govinda through dance. She stumbled upon a text which gives instructions on presenting Gita Govindam in a dance form. Gita Govindam Nrityalakshana Sahitam, a 200-year-old manuscript which was found in the Sarbhoji Saraswati Mahal Library of Tanjore. Many mudras, as mentioned as in Hastalakshana Deepika, were found in the text, and also many mudras not in use in Kerala art forms were found in the text, which Nirmala Panikkar found useful in depicting many characters and words through Mohiniyattam. For the Ashtapadi choreographed, there were many discussions with Sanskrit scholars before she began her choreography. As is the practice in Mohiniyattam, in this production of Gita Govindam Saptam, the concert began with a Devi Stuti, which reflects the Devi Aradhana custom prevalent in Kerala. The real meaning of Radha Krishna romance ensconced in Gita Govinda is that of a self-journeying to find that light. The dancers depicted the entire Dashavatara episode with well-versed movements and Abhinaya techniques. The production is an example how Saptam can be a good format to depict dramatic and elaborate stories. The thematic production of today can be adapted as Saptams, which has more meaning and which can be accommodated in the traditional format. Nirmala Panikkar's long years of study, research and practice are bearing interesting fruits. Another Saptam that she created recently was Leela, based on the well-known poem of the same name by Kerala's renowned poet Kumaran Asan. As choreographed, she shows the various stages of life of the female protagonist with great care and sensibility. The Nayika moves from innocent childhood, exciting adolescence, to the freshness of her first love, to the full bloom of youth, forced marriage, and sudden and sad widowhood. The highly evocative narrative makes for a compelling Abhinaya piece. Thus, this classical composition retained its classical moorings but became a contemporary comment on the rights of women. Recently, Nirmala Panikkar has worked to receive some of the items that had been excluded by the Kerala Kalamandalam in the early years of its existence. In an attempt to rid the dance of the stigma that had been associated with it, she possibly felt that the time distance and the research on the true origin could facilitate this process. Thus, she discovered that Chandanam Nritya, in which a dancer went into the audience singing and dancing about the curative power of sandalwood paste that even Lord Shiva has benefited from after having poison, was originally a ritual dance that had been reduced to a money-earning opportunity for the dancer, would apply chandan only on being paid money by the men in the audience. Another dance to be excluded, that was Eshal. Eshal is a funny conversation between Lakshmi and Kurati and Parvati Kurati about their respective husbands. While Mohiniyattam was banned in the temples of Kerala in 1930s and the idea was excluded as the Kerala Kalamandalam, it stayed alive in many of Desi forms that were presented during fairs and festivals. This is the dance that Nirmala Panikkar resurrected and which was performed at the Natyagraha of Kerala Sangeet Natak Academy in Thrissur after a gap of over 60 years. Mohiniyattam underwent radical transformations once again in early 1980s, which were spearheaded by two dancers, Bharati Shivaji and Kanakarele. Bharati Shivaji was exasperated by the limited movement possibilities of Mohiniyattam and not coming from the background of Kathakali but having the confidence of training in a completely developed form like Bharatanatyam and having seen the working of the maestro Kelucharan Mahapatra as he created new pieces to pump up the repertoire of Odissi. Bharati turned to the other Kerala performing arts for inspirations. She also looked at visual and plastic arts. She went around Kerala visiting libraries and temples and to find supporting evidence for her project. Some of the temples of the Chera period bear images of female dancers. One sculpture at the Kidangur Subramaniam temple has a few dance images, one of which depicts a dance with a few pots balanced on her arms and in her hand, flanked by two female musicians playing the drum and the cymbals. The pot or the kumbha holding dancers reappeared in other images as well, especially at the Vishnu temple of Tikodi Thanam in Changanacheri district. Here, apart from pot-bearing dancers, there is an image of a dancer doing the umbrella dance, Kudai Kuttu. This became an inspiration for Bharati by itself and a definite guide to the interrelatedness of all arts with dances. She found more inspirations from the images found at the Suchindram temple in Kanyakumari. Many have referred to the enhanced Andolika that defines Bharati's very feminine and lasya oriented style. Scholars have read the influence of the rounded architectural lines of the Kutambalam in it. Bharati has drawn her kinetic vocabulary from the unified tradition of Kerala. In this process, she was first inspired by Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay and then guided by Kavalam Narayan Panikkar before she gained the confidence to proceed independently. She has been inspired by movements from Arjuna Nrityam, Padayani and Trambakam apart from others. For instance, in a piece called Athira, Bharati used much of the recreational forms of Tiruvatikaralai, also known as Kaikottikalai. She claimed to have encountered no problems in combining Tiruvatikalai and with the classicism of Mohiniyattam. Actually, Athira is the Malayalam word for Ardra, which is one of Parvati's names. Tiruvatirai stands for the sacred, that is Thiru, day with Parvati wedding Shiva. Bharati has shown creativity in exploring unusual themes and literature as well. So, based on folk legend, she created Uniyarcha based on the popular legendary woman warrior of the 16th century who lived in the Malabar region. She also created a choreography called Rigveda, which she based on the Vedic scriptures. Possibly due to her training in music, Bharati responds well to notes and rhythms. She has used just the varieties of Edakka at the background score for Ganapati. However, the most spectacular presentation by Bharati and her daughter Vijayalakshmi was the use of Tchaikovsky's music presentation for Swan Lake in Mohiniyattam. The carefully selected moments to match the mood, music and the story created such a seamless blend that it appeared as if the music was done just for it. The Pas de Do between Odette danced in Mohiniyattam by Vijayalakshmi and the Prince danced in the Mayurbhanj Chhau by Santosh Nair worked beautifully. The production has been presented repeatedly overseas to rave reviews. Kanakarele has acknowledged her debt to Kavalam Narayan Panikkar, who helped her breaking the myth of a lovelorn Naika, an image associated for long with Mohiniyattam, which was in keeping with its contours formulated by the male gaze. Thus, in the Tejaswini series, she focused on characters like Gandhari and Radha to explore the strength as well as the tragic in the situation around the lives of Indian women. Gandhari, trapped in marriage that made her close her eyes to the deception around, reflected the many Gandharis who stony-eyed witnessed the deception and travails that they are subjected to. The lyrics by Kavalam Narayan Panikkar himself. From her tortured being are born numberless children inherited the nature, the cruel, loveless union. Convinced that ultimately it is dharma that wins and not individuals, the death of her sons in battlefield is the test fire that purifies her soul. Radha is a different story. In a visual translation of the spirit of the wonderful Malayalam poem by Ayappa Panikkar, the Radha of Vrindavana, as seen by the river Kalindi, is the story of the sublimated love. Bombay-based Geeta Radhakrishnan, who was trained in Mohiniyattam by Kalyani Kutte Amma, has created several interesting choreographs like to the culture of Kerala. One of them, Narayaniyam. Another and more unusual one is Swamiye Sharanam Ayyappa, the life and story of Lord Ayyappa, which she first presented in 1983. Since then, it has been performed several times both in India and overseas. She performed it every year on the first day of the Mandala month. She chose the theme of Ayyappa as it told the story of an extraordinary bhakti which she felt Mohiniyattam quite capable of dealing. However, she wore a black costume when she danced it. Geeta also worked on the poetry of Vallathol with her choreography on Mary Magdalene and Karuna based on the poetry of Kumaran Asan. One of her most challenging works that required enormous amount of creativity and inspiration was Nritya Swaramanjari, that uses an analogy of poems, different ragas and talas, and is set in 7 movements inspired by the 7 apsaras that the Kerala system endorses. Padma awardee and Kerala Ratna, that is the fellowship awarded by Kerala Sangeet Natak Academy, Dr. Leela Omcheri has taken on the Carnatic music hegemony over Mohiniyattam and has established thorough research that Sopana Sangeetam of the Kerala temples has been a unique and centuries-old branch of Natya music. Her claim is that not only in Kerala's music difference, but also distinct from the later developed classical Carnatic music. She unearthed a number of forgotten compositions of famous composers like Swathi Tirunal, Iraiyam Thampi, Kutti Kunju Thankachi, Shatkala Govinda Marar, and brought out their original music given by the composers themselves. It was from her grandmother, who had been the disciple of Kutti Kunju Thankachi, that she orally learned compositions belonging to the genre Vadil Thurupatu, which lay unknown for a long period of time. They were first published in Abhinaya Sangeetam in 1980, which was choreographed in Mohiniyattam and presented by daughter Deepthi. Vadila Thurupatu compositions are like Javalis. Kerala does not have a tradition of Javalis, which made this discovery all the more significant. Literally, the word Vadila means door, Tura means opening, and Patu means song. They depicted the Khandita Nayika and her penchant to refuse the Nayak from entering her home by not opening the door. However, this is a big difference between the regular Javalis and the Vadila Thurupatu. In the latter, the Nayika experienced a sense of regret and apologies in the end seeking reunion. This was the result of a larger project for the IGNCA of locating unknown palm leaf works of music and allied arts and preparing supporting descriptive catalogues. Drawing from and taking ahead her mother's work, Dr. Deepti Omcharya Bhalla has created some unusual choreographics around rare and absolute musical forms and compositions like Shabdachali, Nritya Prabandham, Vadila Turapatu and Ardhanarishwara, a rare composition in Malayalam, Daruvarnam, Dundubi Natyam and many more. The Shabdachali eulogizes Ganesha and uses mystic words like Idam Madu Bhuvi Bhuvi, Idam Madu Divi Divi that are not truly understood but suggest ancient practices. Nritya Prabandham are based on old literature predating to 13th century when the Prabandha structure were in vogue. Unlike regular Varnam, the Daru Varnam uses Savara, Sahitya and Jatis, and in a remnant of the country culture of the 16th and 17th century. The Dundubi Natyam also suggests ancient practices, for there is reference to an instrument called Bhumi Dundubi in the Rig Veda and Natyam, which included both Nritya and Bhava. Some of these compositions are set to rare talas like Guru Jhampa, Madakku Talam or Tritiya Talam, Raja Vidyadhara Talam. Deepti also choreographed some rare Padavarnams and Talamallika Padams like Etu Cheyam Janam. The Saurashtra Ragam, her knowledge of music has helped her immensely in incorporating various varieties, chandas from traditional forms like Tulal or Padeni or Mai Pili Tukam, which have added a new dimension to her style. Among the many books that she has written are series that she has co-authored with her mother. These include Kerala Tile Lasya Panchanakala, Pandavam Pandavam, Chinkara Kuttu Pottukala and Karuna Chaivanna. These are also collections of rare songs researched, musically scripted by both and choreographed by Deepti. With a doctoral thesis on the concept of Lasya and Tandava in the classical dances of South India, a detailed study that is an in-depth examination of the various manifestations of Lasya and Tandava, the two fundamentals and philosophical modes common to all classical dance forms in India. Her study explored how these twin concepts aesthetically differentiated and synthesized in the South Indian dance such as Bharatanatyam, Mohiniyattam, Kuchipudi and Kathakali, with all four being dances in which she has been trained by some of the best teachers. Subsequently, Dr. Neena Prasad completed a postdoctoral study on the post-colonial identity construction of the Naika as part of a research fellowship from the AHRB Research Center for Cross-Cultural Music and Dance Performance, University of Surrey, United Kingdom. The study explored the evolution of the protagonist or Naika from the colonial period to its present form in the post-colonial context. Dr. Neena Prasad was equally adept at the performance part of her dance, Mohiniyattam, for which she has received training from Kalamandalam Kshemavati and before that from Kalamandalam Saugandhi. She has created a large cache of creative work in the medium of Mohiniyattam. For instance, she has used Kalameluthu Pattu literature for Sholakattu. Kalameluthu Pattu literature is a ritualistic art form practiced in the temple of Kali, Ayappa and Vettakaru Marakka. The Kalameluthu Pattu ritual developed through three stages. The first is Kalameluthu as the drawings of the images of the deities using natural colors and pigments. In the next stage, called Kalampattu, the singers, accompanied by the traditional instruments, sing prarthana in praise of the deity. Finally comes Kalam Thullal, during which the main performer gets into the trance and delivers prophecies. Absolutely at the end, with an appropriate song, the main performer disfigures the kalam or the drawing which palm fronts. The Devi Kesadi Padam Cholakattu, set in Ananda Bhairavi and Aditalam, is an example of one such work. Thematic Cholakattu, pieces like Panchabhuta Cholakattu, based upon the 5 elements of creation knitted into the 5 gatis, that is tempos, is an example of how she has used her creative mind to further enrich the tapestry of Mohiniyattam. Another work, Thoyatrikam, is an impressive large-scale work using a multi-dancer, multi-musician ensemble experimenting with the new rhythmic patterns. Nina is equally at home with new writers as she is with classical writers. She created Kavya Nartaki, an adaptation of the work of Changampura, the renowned poet of Kerala, as well as Tadaka Enna Dravida Rajakumari, as a poem by the great Malayalam poet Vailar Ramavarma, as well as on a suite of selected poems of Mahakavi P. Kunjiraman Nair. She has also worked on contemporary poetry. Draupadi is based on the contemporary work of Pratibha Rai. Her work on Shurpanakha is based on a bureaucrat and a poet K. Jayakumar's work of the same name, which questions the humiliation she underwent that denigrated her womanhood by shaming her desire. This piece was presented for the Epic Women Festival curated by dancer-curated Anita Ratnam. Some of the other works done by Nina Prasad on the feminist issues include the choreography of Amrapali, which is a commentary on the transformation and adoption of a monastic order of royal courtesan drawn to the Buddha. Shakuntala is a reinterpretation of the classic form of feminist perspective and statement against hierarchical orders prevalent in the traditional societies. These reinterpretations of characters from the epic is the backdrop of her work, Sakhyam, as well as Sakhyam depicts the unique bonding of the great warrior Arjuna and Krishna leading to his self-discovery or moksha. Mumbai-based Mohiniyattam dancer Mandakini Trivedi, a disciple of Dr. Kanakarele, is by her own admission drawn to poetry that talks of classical, epic or mythical characters that are dramatic and display intense moods, allowing for the use of stylized theatrical abhinaya. Equally is she drawn towards delicate mood-based poetry and mukta kavyas or stray verses suffused with emotions. Her Urvashi Shapam, written and set to music by Kottayalu Tamburan, vividly brings out Urvashi as woman who rejects gender typecasting and is unabashed in the enjoyment of her body and sensuous desires. Prathama Kanjuneya, which is Tagore's Karnakunti Samvad translated in Hindi and set to a collage of music from Drupada to Carnatic to Bengali folk, is another powerful character and mood piece where both music and literature inspire. For this, she worked with a wonderful team of musicians who gave body to C.V. Chandrasekhar's music and the translation, which was by Sahitya Academy winner Veena Alase. It created magic with its text and music and had all the ingredients of high drama. In Mandakini's repertoire, one of the most powerful pieces is Bho Shambho, the famous poem by Dayananda Saraswati, set to music by Maharajapuram Santanam, is another piece where the text and music create avenues for great choreography. The word Swayam, Swayambho Shambho or Shiva, the self-born one, was challenging to conceptualize in its movements. Also, the word Gangadhara Shankara called for vivid representation of the descent of Ganga and the interaction between these two powerful mythical characters. Jayaprabha Menon. For her creative work in Mohiniyattam Dancer, Jayaprabha Menon credits Kavalam Narayan Panikkar for kindling the lamp of creativity within her. Initially trained as Kalamandalam in Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi and Mohiniyattam for 20 years, about the only creativity that she would attempt then was to dance the Hindi poetry of the Pradyot poet royal Swami Tirunala. Aaj Aaye Sham, Mohana Jamuna Kinare and other such pieces. Her work with Kavalam helped her connect better to the creative crucible of Mohiniyattam. She lists Kavalam's contribution to be the regionalization of Mohiniyattam and the grafting of it and oral identity exclusively its own. While Kavalam was open to the use of Malayalam, Sanskrit and Manipravalam poetry, it was in the use of regional ragas and talas that he created the oral signature. The first item which he created for her was the Cholakattu using the Ganapati Stuti. Subsequent memorable pieces of Gamanam, the journey of a river, as it moves from being a gentle rivulet to a raging river. A variety of sound and percussive elements were used. The river rising from the accumulation of drops of water was depicted by plucking the strings of the sitar. The meandering of the river was suggested by mnemonics, Tadita Ganata Gana Gana Jalada Janata Jara 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 Jara, movements that were inspired by kalare matched by the oral platform of the Chenda and Tavil to depict the gushing river. The use of mnemonics was seen once again and the Six Seasons piece built around the poetry of Kalidasa. Kavalam's literary skills allow him the capacity to edit and link lines with a manner to suggest that he has already had darshana of the eventual choreography. In the rainy season segment, for instance, set to Amritavarshini Raga, he used the onomatopoeic sounds associated with the many types of rain that monsoon-rich Kerala experiences. Jayaprabha Menon highlights the treatment of talas that Panikkara prefers, which intertwines a special dramatic element in it. For instance, in the well-known Padam written by Kavalam himself, Yashodhara, Kavalam uses the Ayyadi Tala, which is a setting of 5 beats plus 1 khali. The way he breaks the flow of the words allows the khali to come about in silence, where the power of Satvika Abhinaya creates a greater impact. As the meaning and message sink in, even in Adi Shankara's Bhajagovindam, in Chemputabala, built around a philosophical theme that has contemporary and global relevance, Kavalam used the khali 8 beats to compel the audience to contemplate on the message. In another work, Kurukshetra, that deals with Arjuna's dilemma, a poem once again written by Kavalam, he used the power of the khali in the tala to rub in deep the message. The mind in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where dharma and adharma are on either side, and then comes the Khali, allowing for the import of the words to sink in. The brilliant writing, the careful setting to raga and tala, and the layering of meaning is the creativity that really belongs to Kavalam, but allows the dancer's work a rare luminescence. By the time Kavalam worked with the artist of generation of Jayaprabha, he had created the main item called the Neeram. The Neeram was the equivalent of the Varnam and got its identification and symbolic value from the process of the drawing of image, the goddess with a palette of 5 natural colors, where each color is depicted. Along with the Neeram, he was elaborating the Jiva, and while he first created the Jiva for Bharati Shivaji, for Jaya he created a Jiva based on the Marmatala. The Marmatala is an ancient and very versatile tala in Kerala. The Marmatala can pattern of a palindrome. It can escalate with every cycle and ends with a fast crescendo, suggesting the movement of energy along with the Kundalini root. Inspired by the Kundalini Pattu by Sri Narayana Guru, a social reformer of Kerala, Kavalam created an item called the Nagatatvam. It refers to the rise of the Kundalini and compares it with the Ananda Tandava of Shiva. The kinetic vocabulary for this was drawn from the repertoire of Kathakali, which the percussive text is to Udukka played out on Edakka and Mandalam. An example of the creative work done by Jayaprabha Menon independently was Lasya Lahiri, in which 7 Kathakali Krishna dances with 7 Mohiniyattam gopis. It was a piece that allowed for the similarities and differences between these two Kerala dance forms to come to the fore. The visual impact was tremendous, especially since the performance was done against the magnificent ruins of the old fort of Delhi. Thus, we see that creativity is often inspired by a deep desire to do something different, by the power and beauty of similar experiments that have succeeded and push the bar further, and by the opportunities that come by. Pallavi Krishnan. Trained originally in the Kalamandalam style by Kalamandala Shankara Narayana, Pallavi benefited by a stint of learning with Bharati Shivaji and subsequently worked intensively with Kalamandala Sugandhi. She then associated with Kavalam Narayan Panikkar and created some new pieces. One of them is Shalabhanjika, which creatively linked the stone carvings of Shalabhanjikas that are found on some of the temple walls of Kerala to the story of Ahalya, who had been turned into stone by the curse of her husband, the Rishi Gautama. Just as Ahalya needed the touch to Rama to be released from the stone, so does the Shalabhanjika need the touch of the sculptor to be released from the block of stone. The script from this was written by Kavalam Narayan Panikkar with the music composition by Darshana Raman and Haidar Ali, and the dance choreography is Pallavi Krishnan's.